But as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night, we will not vanish without a fight, we're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
No, it's not true.
It doesn't matter what's true. It matters the story they tell when you're gone.
I keep on pushing down my Gypsy road.
All right, we are on. And guys, I think today is a doozy because we all have talked to UFOs before. We've done that. Of course we've done that. But the question is, what states actually have the most sightings? I mean, we never really broke down, what states consider the most and what states have the least. Does it make a difference of if UFO is real or not? No, but if you're a searcher, you might want to go to the hot state. You might live next to the hot state. And then we're going to crisscross the biggest sightings of Bigfoots in the States just to see, do they kind of line up? Is whatever state they say it's the most, where is it on the Bigfoot site? And then the opposite, they might be totally way off. It might not even do a match, but hey, what the hell? We're going to do that. And guys, today is just a fun, exciting day. You see that man over there? Bigfoot Anonymous right over there? You guys see him? He is actually at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. He's going on a show called Bigfoot Odyssey, right?
Yep.
Bigfoot
the researchers
Odyssey.
report.
And Bigfoot Odyssey, guys, they're a good sized channel. They over 36,000 people. They average over 8,000 views.
Nice.
So it's kind of cool to getting himself out there, getting noticed, telling people about Bigfoot and his story, and it's kind of cool that to be invited. That's awesome. One day maybe I'll get invited to some shows.
100%, man. You can see Mount Rainier from your backyard, and that's a Sasquatch spot. So the more you get out there, I think the better. And you've been here with me for a journey, and I know you and your brother have been hiking and hunting your whole life. And, crazy things have happened.
Oh, Bob could tell you could just step outside and you'll see Mount Rainier. I mean, unless it's raining, cloudy, but you can see Mount Rainier clearing day, big and huge.
You don't mind me, guys. I'm still setting up. I've got weird ass things happening to my computer. I don't know what the hell. I've got a touch screen and it's like it's being touched. I've used a Windows spray cleaner. I've warmed it up, and the damn thing feels like someone's touching the shit out of it. No matter what I'm doing, it's like trying to close it out. It's pushing the corners. I'm like, come on, man. Really? I can feel the electricity in the air. So that's what's going on. So you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm setting this up.
Well, I don't know if this is paranormal or not. I'm doing laundry. I'm just doing my laundry. My dog got 4 shots yesterday, so it seemed like he was urinating on blankets. So I had to do a lot of blanket washing. And whatever reason, my little toy, I don't think you guys can see it, the little toy from Beetlejuice with the guy with the small head, for some reason, was right next to my washer and dryer room. Somehow, I could have somehow, it could have hiked on my pants and it could have fell off by the washer and dryer. But I'm like, how did this guy get here? And I'm not saying it's paranormal. But I keep my toys, everybody knows, I have, my toys here. And I always keep my toys together. And I got a lot of Tim Burton toys that I don't like to, to move around. They stay there, but it's kind of weird that I found my little shrinking head guy by the washer and dryer room. Just strange.
Yeah, you got to take that as a subliminal message. That's pretty interesting.
Hey, Bob, I think you're giving a lot. Hold on, Bob, hold on. Yeah.
I think it
Bob,
is.
you're giving a lot of feedback.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay, that's better. That's better.
Yeah, actually, I was walking around. I was getting my coffee. I said, again, I got a tablet. I'm going to turn it on here in a second and see if I got my face to be okay. It's hard to get things going. Okay. Apparently not. I can't see. There's no. Yeah, okay. Let me work on that.
No, paranormal. Somebody says paranormal. It could be. It was just weird. It was just sitting there, laying on the ground.
Let me ask you a question, Eric. Let me ask you a question. Did anybody, now I know this sounds stupid, it's happened in the past. Has anybody that you know in our immediate family and friends, did anybody drop something heavy on their toe, on their big toe?
Not. I mean, not necessarily drop something on the toe. You know, my wife's been in the hospital. She went in the hospital to get a vein removed down her leg. She had to get a vein removed, and because of the offset walking, one of her other foot actually got a little swollen. She damaged her foot a while back.
Is it her left foot? Is it a left or is it a left foot? Because my left foot's swollen and my fucking big toe is like I'm gripping on it.
Okay, hold on a second. This might sound. You guys have to go with me on this. Hold on for a second. You guys have to go with me on this. I don't know if you can see it here. Okay. This is my right middle finger.
Yeah.
All right. My left middle finger is swollen. I don't know. I know you can't really tell, but my middle left hand finger has been looks like I'm flipping people off, but I'm really not. I'm just trying to show that this one, for whatever reason, in the last 3-4 days been hurting, and it's actually, I know you can't really tell there, but it actually was swelling up. And I don't know if it's because I was holding the dog collar, but my middle left finger got swollen.
Well, I just want to find out because last time I had a dream, I fell off a large fence in a fucking stupid ass dream, and then was it 2 days later? You said, one of our friends fell off a fence, and my back was all fucking injured. I've been gimping around. I told you before. You told me, and you're like, by the way, I go, okay. So now I'm asking, did anybody get their fucking foot hurt? Because I've got a gimp on my fucking left foot. It's swollen. And there's no reason for it. There was nothing happened, man. It's like there's no reason for it to happen. So last time it happened with somebody in the family, so I was asking you, did anybody hurt their fucking foot?
I'll ask my wife what side of her foot. I can't remember. Standing Goat Rescue is driving. He's in the chat. He's picking up Rosie from school, which I'm be driving my kids to volleyball practice. So being a parent, Queen of Swords is here. Mystical is here. Scott Morin's here.
And I also want to shout out Standing Goats Rescue, Donnie Miller. You guys know him from past episodes. But he stopped by earlier and dropped me off some GoPro supplies that him and his wife Kim picked up for me. It's one of the nicest things anybody's ever done for me. And he kind of taught me how to work a lot of things. And then I just got a drone from Airrata Images out of Louisiana. And so he kind of walked me through it. I hear a little bit of feedback. Do you think that might be me?
Bob, your computer. Hold on. Yep. Bob, your computer is doing a lot of feedback again.
Man, all right. I'm gonna hang in there as long as I can. At least thank God. Yeah, there's three of us here, so we're okay.
I like that Seattle jersey though. That's pretty awesome. The Seattle Seahawks jersey. I used to have a Sean Alexander jersey.
Well, I'm wearing it for good luck. I'm actually wearing it as magic. As stupid as it may sound, I'm wearing it as magic. I'm wearing something from home. Actually, it was a gift from Eric, so I'm hoping it gives me a little positive karma here because I'm having it.
I can't remember. Right?
We should all do a fantasy football league this upcoming season, just because that would be a fun thing for all of us just to BF with through the week.
Actually, I do one every year. Yeah, I'll send you an invite.
Yes, definitely.
Now, let me see here. Let me stop this, and we'll get into the UFOs in a second, guys. But let me tell you guys, If last night on the show last night, we actually had a director. He's a director. He's a writer. He's done 2 documentaries. One's called Roswell 70 Years Later. He did another one called the Skunk Ape, and he actually made a real motion picture movie called The Pit. And he was actually on our show last night. And I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If you haven't watched that interview, it was awesome. But if you did try to watch it last night, I will tell you that because I played a few footages of his own documentary, the video got taken down. Not a strike, no strike. So I had to trim out just 3 minutes of some footages of I'm showing. It's not his fault. Stacy didn't give us. He didn't say block this video, but whoever had that video rights to it on YouTube, so I had to trim it out, and it's back up. So check it out, guys. It was awesome. It was kind of cool to listen to why he did a documentary on Skunk Ape, and the passion behind. It wasn't just he wanted to do a documentary. He believes in it. He's got some really awesome footage, which you can't see it now on my video. Yeah. I had to trim it out, but it's still overall the whole interview was great. 3 minutes out of the video, no big deal, And guys, check it out.
Job, dude.
What's that?
That's a good job. Yeah, I remember over here it's like 3 in the morning and 4 in the morning when you guys do your stuff, but I caught a little bit of it, and it was positive. I could feel that everybody was having a great time. All the 3 of you guys were having a fantastic time. I was like, wow.
Yeah, Stacy's the man. I met him at the Florida Bigfoot Conference, and he lives about an hour away from me, and he is definitely a pillar in this Bigfoot world down here in the Skunk Ape territory. And so is Standing Goats Rescue, and then Bigfoot Anonymous. I'm just trying to be walk this path that a lot of my mentors have already paved for me. And I manifested that interview. I wanted that to happen right when I saw Stacy for the first time. And he was on Spike TV's Bigfoot show when they were hunting Bigfoot. He's been in a lot of other mysterious projects as well. I definitely look forward to chopping it up in the future with him. And he was one of the speakers at the Florida Bigfoot Conference, and his speech was incredible.
Yeah. And it was awesome that he came on, gave us some time, and then we talked about it. And like I said, it's cool to see a documentary on it on the Skunk Ape because, to be honest with you, I told you guys last night, whoever watched, I didn't know technically what a skunk ape was. I was thinking in my head maybe it's just what Florida people call Bigfoot. Maybe they have their own name. Maybe Florida people they're their own tribe. So I learned a lot on where the skunk ape name came from. So that's what's cool about some of these documentaries. You actually learn something. But guys, let's talk some UFO. We all know lately there's been UFOs. Bob talked about UFOs. The increasement of UFOs, but we never really had a graph or a chart on what are the states that actually showing the most UFO sightings. What are they? Now, if anybody looks at the thumbnail is the shape of a United States of America, and there's colors, and you can look at the thumbnail and it'll tell you what color is red, blue. What's considered. Now, guys, remember, this is not guaranteed to say that every single one is a true UFO sighting. These are based on reports. So, there's might be some states that people might not report as much, or there's some states that don't have as much people as other states. So it'd be interesting to see where these states come from. So let me share the screen. Let me bring it, and then, guys, after we look at the states for the UFOs, that Bob's computer going. That's so weird. It's like I'm hearing.
It might be my air conditioning. I'll have to check
okay. That's cool.
It's at 84 degrees right now in my trailer. So it's about to get really steamy if I turn this
No,
off.
I hear you. Here in Washington, on our phones and everything, and even says there's a heat wave hitting today all the way up to Friday. So we're in a heat wave warning right now, actually, in the state. Yeah.
It's the opposite, guys. It is pouring down, man, like cats and dogs right now. I'm almost ready to take this tablet outside and see if we can hear it. It is coming down hard. That's probably why I'm having all these problems.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Hey, Connor, I'm going to send you a screenshot of a creature that man found in my older video. You can share it with Eric if you want. And when we get into the Bigfoot numbers to match it, it'd be perfect timing to start showing some of those. So let's see here. Let's look at this. States with the most UFO sightings, 2020. So UFO sightings are on the radar these days. Thanks, the Pentagon stuff made it popular again. I'm not saying that's real or not, but it did bring it popular again, which is fine. If more people, if it gets more people to go outside and start looking more with the cameras and stuff, then so be it. So be it. We need, it doesn't matter. Even technically, if somebody fakes something, which is bad, but if it gets more people to go outside to look on their own, that's what matters the most.
You got to see fake to know real. You got to see fake and then practice the art of science and debunking first, and then you'll see the real ones after that. Once you've got an eye for it, you got literally. I literally look for fake ones so I can train myself to see real ones. But I've seen real ones in the sky, and so I don't need to know. Internet, to me, is skeptical. When you get to see them in real life, then you're like, holy shit. And before 2016, I never saw a UFO before. Now they're constant. It's kind of cool.
Well, just for the people who maybe not know, I don't know how you don't know. What is your email, Eric? Oh, it's in the description. It's in the description, Standing Goat Rescue.
Yeah, he's driving right now. So
I'll make it easy for you, Standing Goat. You could just email me, gypsyroadeffect@gmail.com, or I have another one in the description. So gypsyroadeffect.com. gmail.com. So, and then here we go. If you don't know technically the definition of UFO, this is what it is. A UFO is anything in the sky that can't be identified. In the late 1940s, the U.S. Air Force started using the phrase unidentified flying object to describe any type of mysterious aircraft. When we hear the word UFO, we might start thinking of flying saucers filled with green aliens. The truth is less exciting. Most UFOs are later identified as drones, satellites, Starlink, or weather balloons, or that's what they want us to think.
Yeah.
But even after decades of research, up 5% of UFO reports remain unexplained. Is this proof of alien visitation or just elaborate 60 years hoax? Now, guys, I know some people say, Eric, did you hear that the government admitted to like the UFOs, well, guys, they identify, they recognize UFOs, but they're telling you more of unidentified flying objects. They're not telling you there's life from outer space. No, the government is not saying that. They're just saying there are some planes that they don't identify. So did they lie? Not at all. They're actually telling you the truth, but it's behind the truth. What we don't know, if a thing crashed, and if Roswell happened, if that really did happen, we're never going to know for a fact. Never. Unless somehow, like in the movie Signs, where UFOs land all over the United States where they have no choice. Unless that happens, you will never, ever know the truth. Ever.
And the new term, guys, are UAP. Unidentified aerial phenomenon. So you guys might hear that be thrown around. And they've also been using a terminology for ones underwater that may show themselves break through the surface. And that is very popular on Lake Erie and also the Gulf of Mexico. I believe there are alien bases underneath them. And of course, Middle Earth, and extraterrestrial means extra terra, land. They're not coming from light years away. They're coming from hundreds of miles away. And I think that is even more remarkable. And you guys already heard my stories about how half of LA's population might be reptilian people. And then the one guy that told me about the UFO that dropped off 500 people here in town. So you really never know what the possibilities are. It's a comic book world, like we always say.
Yes. And hey, Bob, I apologize sometimes if I put you on mute. Sometimes your feedback goes a little bit more. So when somebody else is speaking, if I hear some feedback, I'll just unmute, but I'll mute back for you.
No, absolutely. Yeah, 'cause I got storm behind me. It's loud as shit. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, Criminal sent us a link to a UFO sighting in Switzerland.
Awesome.
So and then we're going to get to the 50 states, but I love it when people tribute something to the show, you know, and I love that. I appreciate that. So let's check this out. So basically this is, let me see here. He sent this to me and doesn't look like it's nudity stuff. So good job. You know, you can't trust everybody. Massive open-end film in Switzerland. Incredible UAP. I'm trying to see if it says anything. The source of UFO, Joan R. Well, let's check it out. Kind of looks like a Russian Superman. That is weird. If that's real footage, that is weird. I mean, you can see what he's talking about. There's something floating. It's like it looks like a black kind of a cup with a little red color, but it looks like once in a while. And the reason I'm stopping it here and there, just in case this person doesn't want his footage copyrighted.
It looks like straight out of District 9.
Yeah, let's see here.
What the fuck is that?
Beyond
it looks like
Limbo.
It looks like Bezos, the head of his penis rocket.
Hey, you called that though. There was one that looked like a male object, you know, Bezos, and then Branson had the one that looked like the female one, and then of course there was that aerial globe during the Olympics where they had all those drones, and then it bursted apart. So guys, be prepared for something in the air. Definitely, you know, stay grounded, be barefoot so you can earth. It's called earthing, grounding. Keep your electricity strong.
And what did what Juan Torres says here? I remember the late Sergeant Major Robert Dean said they were walking in the halls of the Pentagon. ETs from other territories kept from us.
Yep. Juan Torres is a big knower, man. He knows there's hundreds of continents out there and extraterrestrials, extra territories. We've seen the Buddhist maps, the ancient, you know, Sumerian tablets that show other lands beyond the 6 continents they're giving us.
Hey, Bob, let's try this. What if let's try this just one time? Let me kick you out. You come back in. Let's see if that'll fix that feedback.
Yeah. I'm getting interference, like UFO interference.
Yeah, we'll just try it once, and then if it doesn't, then I'll just do the pause and unpause and try to get you in there for the major one. So let's try that one time. Yeah, let's kick out that motherfucker. His voice, that sound is just ruining the show. No, we'll get it fixed. Now let's go. Let me take that off. Let me get that website back up, and we'll check out the states that has the most UFO sightings. First of all, without anybody looking, I want everybody in the chat. I want you guys to be involved. What's your guess is the number one state, unless you already cheated? What is the number one state you guys think that has the most UFO sightings? Give me some answers. I want to see some answers.
I'm definitely hoping for Ohio to be pretty high on the list. Of course, Florida. I'm expecting California, Nevada, to be pretty high up. And there's a lot of other missing states that, are really high on the missing 401 quota and a bunch of fairy sightings and other just aerial phenomenons. There could be dragons, thunderbirds, castles in the sky, spaceships, gods, deities, floating planets, fallen angels, of course, meteor rocks. There's a ton of stuff in the sky. But what's most important is it is blue because there is water above us and below. As above, so below. Just like all the pyramids point to, the moon and the sun, they overlap every 28 days, just like a woman's menstrual cycle. All of us were birthed by a mother. It has everything to do with the stars and the sky. So, of course, there's going to be some interference. And that's why they're trying to spray chemical trails and really block out the sun. I know you guys have all seen it with, that Bill Gates guy.
What about the Dulce underground base?
The Dulce underground bases. Phil Schneider, and you guys were talking about on a couple of your other shows, down on the 7th floor, one guy opened it up and then he got blasted by alien blasters. And then, Phil got his hand melted, and you can see it in interviews. It's truly remarkable.
Yeah. Now, Sharon guy, if you're talking about the continent of Mexico, I don't think this list will have the continent of Mexico, but you never know. Maybe Mexico is more than the United States. It could be. If you're talking about New Mexico, we're going to see. Bob, I think you sound better.
I sound better. But both you guys are spinning, which is weird.
Less feedback. All right, let's see here. Let's look here. Here we go. States with the most UFO sightings. Here's the top 10. Number 1 is actually Idaho. Number 2, Montana.
Wow.
Number 3, New Hampshire.
Okay.
Number 4, Maine. Number 5, New Mexico. Vermont, Wyoming, Hawaii, Washington, and Connecticut. And what's weird is you automatically go with the higher populated states, right? New York, California, Florida, Texas, and it's most of the less people states. So, but if you scroll down here, there is numbers. We're going to see numbers in a second. Not everyone wants to see a UFO. If you're scrambling to avoid an alien abduction, the safest place for you to live is in the South. So if you want to stay away from UFOs, guys,
he just got abducted out of London.
Move to the South. For the second year in a row, Texas reported the fewest numbers of UFOs incident per capita than any other state. Other safe zones includes Louisiana, New York, Maryland, and Illinois. Okay, we're not sure why UFOs give Texas such a wide berth. Maybe aliens are scared off by the "don't mess with Texas" attitude. And hey, you don't know. Maybe they do. I know.
Yeah, I think they send out, the wood boogers and also the Texarkana killer and, of course, the chupacabras. So I think they're getting worked on through the other forces. Well, and then, of course, same with New York, the New York Giants. Come on. Maybe they're just staying away because they already know the ancestors are lurking below.
This is interesting, right? This is interesting as hell. Look, states with the fewest UFO sightings: Texas, Louisiana, New York, Maryland, Illinois, California, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and North Carolina. Now we're going to scroll down. There's actually numbers here. We're going to actually see numbers of what are the sighting numbers, even in the first place. Now remember, not everybody reports UFO sightings too. So remember that. I don't know exactly how they get their report, but oh well. Surveys from Chapman University show that the belief in intelligent alien life is on the rise in recent years. In 2016, the year that Bob says that he kind of woken up a lot to the world, which is kind of interesting. 2016, only 27% of Americans believe that aliens have visited our planets at some point in the ancient past. Now, guys, first of all, 27% of Americans, that's a lot. I mean, you might think 27% sounds low. you're talking massive millions.
Yeah,
so that's a good freaking number. I'm telling you guys right now, that's a good number. An independent poll by Lupso showed that 45% of Americans said that UFOs exist and have visited Earth. That's almost half of the United States of America. So here we go. Here's UFO sightings. Here we go. For TikTok-shaped objects flying over New York, swing lights, balls in California. I guess California likes their balls. UFO sightings happen all over the country. The chart shows how many UFO sightings were reported in each state. How many sightings that were per 100,000 people. So this is a formula on how they did this. And overall state rankings of where the most likely to spot a UFO. Okay, so Idaho's ranked number 1. They had a total of 164 sightings, 2 UFO sightings, 9.18, so it's ranked number 1. Montana, 98, 917, number 2. Now, if you notice that when you do go to a state like Washington, there is technically more sightings based on there's more people here versus these other states, but the way they use the formula, 386, 5.07, so they're number 7, and that's kind of cool because I live in Washington, so it's kind of cool knowing that Washington is kind of in the top 10.
Hell yeah.
Now, 100%. You should set a security camera up just pointing towards Mount Rainier, and I'm sure you would get UFO sightings literally like every day.
I should. I actually have 4 cameras all around my house. I should take one of them, point them up.
If anybody's ever read this book, Devolution, De-Evolution by Max Brooks, the guy that wrote World War Z, this is about the Mount Rainier Sasquatch Massacre. It is incredible. So I always think it's just so crazy how God and the Creator and everything just aligned up, you know, with me, Dr. Wu, Gypsy Road, and just everything. But, you know, I do these shows with him week in, week out, and he could see Mount Rainier, and then I'm out here in the Florida swamp. So it's pretty unique. It's a cool, wild testimony. And then we got Dr. Wu, and he's my boundary from Buckingham Palace. Yeah. Keep that over there, brother.
You'd be surprised how good we can see Mount Rainier. I'm not talking about, I mean, it's big. You can see it really well. Let me see here.
How many miles is it away from you?
You know, and you know, these smaller states, you know what this tells me, looking at all these numbers, it tells me how intelligent these UFOs are, because if you're gonna, if they are here, I'm not saying they're here to investigate, I'm not here, but say what if they are from outer space? What if they are from the future, interdimensional? Doesn't matter. They're not from here. They're not the normal present time. It tells me that if you're going to explore, you're probably going to explore where there's more content, there's more land versus people. It's easier to get away with stuff. It's easier to, I don't know, pick up cows, pick up people.
Water. They need access to water.
Missing 411. All we know that some of this missing 411 is going up in these UFOs. We're not for sure. We don't know.
Yeah. If they're flying on hydrogen, they need water. Well, oxygen, they can get it from the oxygen. Oxygen's like the richest fuel you could have, the hottest fuel. But
find Pennsylvania. Let me find Florida, because you're from Florida.
Look at Ohio. Look at Ohio though first.
Okay, Ohio has 320 sightings using the formula of a 2.81, which is giving it a rank of 31.
Yeah, I don't give a dang. You know, I think the ratio in the formula is awesome. I think it's very cool. I don't think it really matters to us three and the people listening, because us three and the people listening are these outdoors people that are always keeping our eyes out to the sky. The whole population doesn't really give a dang. But that is crazy. We have a lot of sightings up in Ohio. There is a lot of famous Lake Erie sightings that I heard about as a child. And me and my friends have seen many strange things in the sky. And then, of course, down here in Florida, you know, is full of strange stories, from orbs in the Appalachian Coal Apalachicola Forest that Donnie was just telling me about, and then other ones right above the Rust House, which is one of the most haunted mansions in Mariana. My buddy Tristan Gilly, not Tristan from Hidden Relief, but Tristan Gilly, the same guy who saw the white humanoid creature off of Birchwood, he said that a UFO was just hovering right above the house downtown Mariana. So crazy things happen.
Let's check.
And you're Ohio, right? Yours is 31.
Yeah, of course. Flip it back. The original 13 families, man.
Well, you're seeing them all the time, and it would be ironic. I'm just saying, guys, ironic that he's always calling the 31s and the 13 or 13, and then his would be 31 out of all of them. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
It's pretty crazy, too, because, of course, 33 scares some people, but my basketball number and my football number were always 33 growing up. Yeah. And then my great-grandfather was a Mason as well, which, people are free to do what they please. I'm me. I'm Connor. People will be a Connor one day, hopefully, in a jungle. They'll be like, man, are you Connor? I'm like, yes, I'm the original.
Send me the link, and I'm trying to find that footage on your thing here. Let me see here. Do I have you? Hold on a second.
This is Lonnie's channel, guys. Standing Goats Rescue. He rescues goats that have been abused or neglected, and then other ones that just have disabilities. But he does very good things, and he has had strange encounters his entire life. He has actually been abducted by aliens. He talks about it in one of his videos in here, and then he has had face-to-face encounters with Sasquatch, cavemen, skunk ape, and other weird beings, and other people find strange things in his videos all the time. And I messaged one to Eric, and that's the one that Donnie's going to email across. But there was a sleeping being behind him in one, and you can see the Sasquatch face pretty clear. But he's had encounters with cat people, a frogman, and other strange deities because he's very connected to this planet. And he also has a piece of metal that is implanted in his arm. And doctors want to research it and stuff. So I think is some kind of beacon. And, of course, that's what, tracks all these animals because they can see, thermal and just vibrations. So they're interested. And he's definitely protected.
Let me just tell him, I gave you a wrench. I gave you a wrench so you can actually put the link right here in the chat if you want. So I gave you a wrench to give you permission to give me that link. I trust you. I don't think you're going to do anything bad. There he is. No. Okay. He sent me it. So let me yeah, the man helps goats out, man. You can't trust a man who helps goats. I don't know who you can trust in this world.
Who you want to trust, man?
Donnie's a great guy, man, and it's a blessing that I cross paths with him. And he's blessed this show and blessed my life. And it's awesome that he stopped by today. It shows really how stars align, too.
Well, yeah. If you look, see the red color right above the tree?
Yeah, I see him.
And it's not moving. That's the thing. That's the thing you got to look at. Is it moving? It's like it's not a helicopter.
Now, it's not a star, is it? Or is it moving? Oh, it's moving.
Yeah, it's just hovering, just vibrating, it seems.
Foo fighter.
But clearly it's not a star because the whole sky would be lit up, like that.
Yeah.
Unless it's a moving star.
Oh, yeah, it's moving. It's moving. It's dimming.
There's stars that visit us on Earth. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's awesome.
This is what I love. Getting this footage from regular people.
Yup.
Oh, that's way too bright for a star.
That's too big.
Yeah, too big.
So cool.
And the thing is, you never know, right? I mean, you just never know.
That's
They're
awesome.
everywhere.
I feel awesome because that's like my skies. I don't know how the sky and perception work like that. I wonder if I'd be able to see it from my house if I looked in the direction. I wonder how high up it is. Probably not that high up, honestly.
And we've been getting storms too down in Florida.
You know,
Yeah,
Scott
Fred is
said-
coming soon.
God
I'm
said,
pretty
I
nervous.
seen a triangle in the sky 3 weeks ago. It seen me watching and floated off 2 hours later. I went outside. It was the same. It was in the same spot. Wow.
I'm supposed to go on a road trip across Jacksonville on Saturday night for the Browns game, Browns versus Jacksonville. You know, Cleveland versus Jags. And now the hurricane's coming, but it's supposed to like hit direct land that night or that morning. And you know me, I'm down for a little adventure, but I don't want to mess up and get stranded during vulnerable times. And you never know how the storm will turn out, and the outer bands too. Like, so it might be hardcore weather and not even worth going.
Well, bring your emergency gear, bring your emergency rations, bring your emergency stuff. You know, make sure you load that in there. You know, have your emergency car kit for overnight.
100%.
Make sure you have one of these
Buckets.
buckets of food. Buckets of food.
I need one. In that video, Donnie said that it stayed up there for more than an hour. That's pretty cool, man. That's really rare. I wonder how many other people saw it. They had to.
Don't worry. Once your picture gets uploaded, you know, we're not on the Bigfoot numbers yet because we want to compare the UFO.
Donnie, if it's the Bigfoot one, don't worry about it. I messaged you on Instagram to Eric too, because you sent it to me on Facebook.
Oh, cool! You got it here too. That's the one. Wow, that's nice.
Yeah,
that is nice. I can't wait to show that. So yeah, if it doesn't get here, I have it on Instagram.
Cool.
ET is coming back to give us the finger. Well, my middle finger is swollen a little bit for some reason. So,
mine too. I'm scratching mine right now. Mine's really swelled up. My hands get swelled up, I think, from some of the chemicals on the grass once in a while. But I think it might be something more too. It always used to happen when I went to my dad's like flag football games, and I'd be, you know, running and playing. So I think it's a mixture of things.
No, that's awesome. I'm also gonna put.
I think the UFOs are gonna be doubling them up.
Yeah. They're gonna show their face.
More and more.
Project Bluebeam, guys. Everybody, research that, please.
Yeah, they're gonna do the fakies. They're gonna throw the fake laser show. New Year's laser shows were amazing across the fucking back of this turtle. Everybody had this new laser reality kind of like you said, blue beam. It was Seattle had one. I was like, my God, the technology is insane. They can put anything in the sky.
For real. They had literally whales diving through high school basketball courts, you know, like, so if high schools can do projections, then of course, you know, the sky can. And I think the Olympics really showed that. They had like a globe in the sky. So they're making a mockery.
I also put his video, guys, on my Reddit page too. Is this a UFO? So it's on my Reddit page. And actually, I also uploaded just earlier. Our Bigfoot guy has told a cool little ghost story about the ghost of Molly's Tower.
Yeah, that's a really cool spot over in Tipley. And the ghost of Molly is there. And every time I drive by, I keep my eyes peeled for her. And I did a little haunted tour by myself all around the historic district there in town, right down the railroad. And, you know, one of my best friends, David, my neighbor, he's been featured small bits on the show in the past. His dad was a bus driver, and he sadly had a heart attack and passed away driving right past that area, and then crashed his car into one of the restaurants. And it's really sad, but it's a powerful spot. And, you know, I believe in heaven being a physical place. So he's only 73 miles above us. So he's closer than, you know, some of us to begin with, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just pulling back up the UFOs just to see if there's anything else that's on here. Like I'm saying, California has 752 sightings out of 1.9. Big number, but the thing is, by percentage size of California, in theory, it should be a lot higher number. But anybody who's from California, Bob and I were born and raised in California, would tell you, especially in the LA area, those people don't give a shit about nothing. You know, they're Californian people. There's
I'll be back in California soon, so I'll get
well, there's two Californians. You have like the Oceanside California people, and then you have the Valley people, right? The real people are the Valley people. Where all these sightings probably came from the Valley. I'm being serious. I'm telling you, more of this probably came from the Valley, because people from the Valley are your Bigfoot searchers, your UFO searchers. Everybody on the outskirts of the Valley are a bunch of your plastics, some of your phonies. Not everybody, but a lot of them are phonies. They're just not.
Yeah.
California has some crazy stuff though. Yosemite, and then of course Big Bear Lake, which is his own monster. Everybody thinks of San Francisco and LA, and then of course San Diego. Yeah. But yeah, Big Bear Lake, guys, that's where all the professional boxers go, because of course there's a convergence of ley lines. There's high altitude. Christopher Dorner, that man that kind of went on that rampage, who was calling out the fakes and the unbalanced, and he got burned alive in a cabin, and that story was really crazy, and that was right outside of Big Bear Lake. And I don't think Big Bear Lake was named after bears, because there's hours of stories online, and when I stayed in a cabin there when we were ATVing, you could just feel it in the air. Your eyes are being watched at all times, man. It's crazy.
Wow.
I'm trying to remember some of the people. I think somebody in the chat put Arkansas earlier. Arkansas is ranked number 21.
I bet Arkansas will be high for Bigfoot though, because they're famous for Boggy Creek and
we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
I'm interested to see Alabama too, because not a lot of people know, but Alabama is like the Amazon of America. There is a huge number of waterways, and right there, 96. And I love all these websites, but I don't know one dang person that submits their UFO sighting other than people talking to me.
Well, we know they're not 100% accurate, but they're just fun to play with.
Oh, 100%. They're
no. But let's read the tips for newbie UFO hunters. So all you new people, let's find out what's the tip for newbies. If your idea of a UFO sighting comes from the X-Files or Doctor Who, you might expect trails of acidic green blood or alien spaceship crushing above the River Thames. The reality is most UFO sightings are less dramatic, which is true. We just saw one from Donnie, which we love it, but it's not like it's right above you where, like, oh my God. But most UFO sightings are basically like that. So I agree with that. Don't expect ET coming out anytime soon. Such as strange aircraft or odd light formations descending slowly into a forest. Planets are also sometimes mistaken for UFOs, which Bob actually, in the beginning of that video, Bob was saying, could that be a star? Which that's a damn good question, because sometimes on a clear night, certain stars do have colors. So you do gotta have patience. Stay there with your camera, because if it starts moving, that's not a star. So here we go. You can get to know the stars and planets with apps like Sky Map, NASA, which NASA always tells you the truth, or Star Walk 2. So you don't file a report on Venus. I don't know. I didn't know you can file a report on Venus. So I guess that's good to know. I guess another common error is mistaking a satellite or a Starlink satellite chain for UFO. Keep up the Starlink launches by checking out the satellite launch schedule. That's actually not a bad little tip there. Like, if you want to make sure that it's not a satellite you're looking up, look at the satellite launch schedule. See if it's near where you're at. So that's not a bad little. That's not a bad little tip. What we do know is that UFO sightings are most frequent up north and during the warmer months. Okay. So pull out the lawn chairs, grab a friend and some cold drinks, and get to know the world at night. You might surprise at what you see. The sky's the limit. Okay, that's good to know for me because I'm in the north and it is warm. So that's cool. So that was the UFO one. So guys, let's go and let's see. Now we know the UFOs one. Let's check out the Bigfoot to see if maybe they're close to the line or maybe it doesn't even matter. Maybe they're just so far apart.
The numbers are. Yeah.
And real quick before the Bigfoot, I just want to tell people you have to manifest your sighting. You have to really visualize it and call upon it. And there's very cool things like CE5 meditations that you can really just hum in and call these things, and there will be sightings while you're meditating or going to bed. I want everybody to check that out. CE5 meditations. You can call UFOs and summon other deities, but make sure you keep your heart pure because, of course, shadows will try to fit in.
Don't call in the wrong thing.
Right. States with the most Bigfoot sightings.
Yes.
Now, before I show that one, I want to share the picture that Goat Rescue was talking about in the chat. And this is the picture that he's talking about right here.
Yep. And you can see his face. No, clear as day. Yeah. And that's in the background of one of his videos. He could feel something was near him. But I'm pretty sure that one of his family members and community found it and sent it to him. And then he reviewed the footage and was just, speechless.
Well, half the time you wouldn't know what's in your picture. I mean, you're just staring at it. All of a sudden, somebody else will spot it. I've had pictures where I didn't have nothing in it. And the next thing you know, someone says, you got a glimpse of what looks like it might be a UFO, an unidentified object in the sky. I said, what? I turn around and go, oh, shit. It's way up behind me, up above. I didn't even see that.
Yep. Now, This is why I said earlier, because Hobbs wrote, I have been looking to the sky since I saw Close Encounters of the Third Kind at the cinema. And that's what's great about some movies. I'm not saying these are all true and stuff, but if it inspires you to look up, that's what matters the most. So I love when I hear that. And then more Jillians look alien to me. And then Na wrote, Arkansas is where I'm at. I have had experience with Bigfoot activity as well. Have a huge creek behind my house. They use that, which is awesome. Arkansas. We're okay. Now we're going to see where Arkansas is on the list. That's why. Now, guys, let's do that again. Everybody in the chat, tell me what number one state you think has the most Bigfoot sightings. Let's get a little flavor. Let's come on, people. Let's get a little flavor.
I'm saying Washington. Northwest Washington.
Yeah, I could see Washington being very high. I, of course, think Florida is going to be high. Ohio. Yeah. I think Maine is going to be high. That Portland, Maine area. A lot of them ride up that transatlantic coast, and then they really have nowhere to go, or they come down from Canada. So definitely all the ones bordering Canada. I wouldn't be surprised about Alabama or Minnesota because the land of the lakes, and then, of course, the America's Amazon. We will have to see. Arizona could be a sleeper, the Mogollon Monster, and, of course, the Grand Canyon. I'm super excited. Maybe even Hawaii. A lot of people are like, oh, there's no Bigfoot in Hawaii. Oh, my gosh. Check out the lava tubes. The lava tubes go down to the aquifer, to Middle Earth, the pillars of Earth, the caverns below, the labyrinths of the Thetas, 13,000 years of them building their reality below. Yeah. So when Armageddon happens, they just erupt and evolved. Atlantis will transpire.
Hell yeah.
We lost Eric. Man, it's our show now. Mount Rainier might have erupted. I am kind of nervous about the Wakulla volcano. That red car right there just rode past. They were looking at me sideways. Oh, man. because the AC is way too loud inside my house, so I'm outside right now while it's cooling off. And what? They ain't never seen someone enjoying themselves with a bucket hat on.
Well, I'm having internet issues. We've been having them on the shows now. It's continuing. At least we're not being kicked off, like strike. So it's not YouTube, man. It's something up there. Keep us from talking. What the hell? Poor Eric.
Yeah, they're definitely binding everybody's words and freedoms just because it's moving forward now. The government is pushing and mandating things, and guys, the military is about to be the determining factor with all of this, and they're not happy with all these orders and demands, especially when they were put in a cold parking garage the first day homeboy was in office.
My power went out for a few seconds. It actually went out and it came right back on. Everything in the house went off. So I was trying to turn off the internet off of here, get satellite so I could join on the phone, but it finally came back on.
That was me Saturday night when I was trying to do my show. Everything, the internet shut off. There's no reason. The power is shut, so everything keeps shutting on and off. And like today, coming on here, all my shit's being manipulated. I can't. I'm like on an old piece of shit tablet that's barely on. Everything's being manipulated. They don't want us talking. It's crazy.
I mean, because it didn't stay off. Everything went off. I'm thinking, did somebody blow the breaker? But then the power came back on. And now Friday is going to be the day that's going to be super hot, and that's where sometimes power outages happen because these poles aren't designed for massive heat.
No, they're not. That's why it's
so that's cool. So I didn't see in the chat. I see people are putting in things now. So let me go back, and if I miss some of you guys, I apologize. Let's see here. Texas, Queenosaurus is Texas. Okay, Scully Mulder. You got Oh yeah. Here we go. Taurus thinks Washington. Guess New York. Queenosaurus in New York. Misco saying California. Ginger Grin says Virginia. West Virginia. That's a
good one.
Washington State. Eric, I'm sending you topics for Friday. Oh yeah, Friday's going to be a supernatural paranormal show. So
yay!
So that's Friday. So Alan's going to be joining us this Friday, and we're going to make it a supernatural, a paranormal show. Which I love paranormal. I love
dude.
Alaska.
I'm happy about that, guys, because Alan is definitely a youngin' on the track right now. He's based out of Arizona in the desert. He's part of our online internet cryptids and conspiracies research crew, and he's always been at the tail end, man. Alan the Bigfoot, and for him to have the bravery to come on the show and really take the wheel, I give him props, man, and that is really cool seeing things evolve. And again, thank you so much to you two for even allowing the platform for great things to happen. Now I look around and I look Kristen, Donnie, Long Island Bigfoot, and then Alan. You guys have hosted all of them, and now I can look at my friends as even more bits of family, So what a special time.
Yeah, thank you, you two. They let us keep going. Everybody else is struck out, and we're like, hey, we just keep going. Kind of nice. We break the rules just as bad as the other people do, but they let us keep going.
Now I got to get that screen back up with the thing. That was just so weird. I haven't had that happen like that in a long time. So here we go. States with the most Bigfoot sightings.
What is it? Drum roll, please.
Number of reports, Bigfoot sightings by state.
Here we go.
Where are you mostly likely to spot a Bigfoot? Bigfoot loves those forest areas, especially if there are some snow-capped mountains, fresh water source nearby, which Nah was saying that in his backyard, they got a river down there. You know, because Bigfoot's got a drink. If you're hiking and campaigning in the wilderness, look for orange tune, like giant roaming along tree lines of dense forest crossing. But here we go. States with the most Bigfoot sightings overall.
Here we go.
Number 1, Washington. State population, Washington, 676 sightings. Population of this state is over just 7 million people, and the sightings per 100K is 1.1. California makes sense because of all the mountains, 445 out of almost 40 million. I mean, that's kind of impressive about Washington because Washington only has 7.6 compared to 40 million, and we still have more sightings.
Remember, that's reported. This is reported. I remember we always talk about the disclaimer as in some people report, some people just go on with, like, that's what Connor was talking about. They just go on with their lives. They don't fucking care. It's more like how many people are awake enough to report it in the area.
That's true. But, you know, we all talked about how Florida has high, and right here, Florida is number 3, 328 out of 21 million people, 1.5. Now think about that. Florida, California, and Washington. I don't think anybody would argue those 3 states.
Oh, 100%, man. Florida has it down from the Everglades up to the Panhandle. Even over by Jacksonville has some encounters. So the Everglades down by Miami, there is hidden pyramids and lost civilizations and feral people that still live out there. And then over here in the Panhandle, you got the Ocheesee Pond Wild Man that was captured in the 1800s. The activity at Torreya State Park right across the river that Stacy Brown recorded, a 9-foot creature just lurking in the shadows, and that is remarkable. The shape and proportions of the arms is, you can't fake that. It's authentic.
No.
And then just everywhere else, the Chattahoochee Mounds, the Lake Jackson Mounds, the Seminole Indians, the Creek Indians, all the other Native Americans, they chose this for location for a reason. And then all the convergence of ley lines, because they go right to the Bermuda Triangle. And, then it might be Atlantis down below the Gulf of Mexico. Why was Godzilla emerging at Pensacola? We may never know.
Well, maybe Sasquatch, this is another comic book by itself, maybe Sasquatch were the original Spaniards or travelers that came here, found the fountain of youth. Maybe they just kept living, and they keep living, they keep growing. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I like the original settlers anyway.
Yeah, because like, why Florida? I mean, this was where the original settlers had made their ways originally. You know, the hardcore places.
Ponce de Leon Springs, man. We've said before. And then the Garden of Eden Trail, 27 of the 28 trees in the Bible. Gopher wood, that's what Noah used to build the ark. That's also known as Torreya. It's the lightest and strongest wood on earth. And a delta that breaks into 4 rivers like the good book describes right here. So, yeah, there is some crazy anomalies. But, again, I think there are many Edens. There are multiple Atlantises or, equals to it. Eden might be the name we know, but there's 100 other ideas and civilizations and lost people that resemble that type of level of thinking, spirituality, technology. All we know and all we can grasp is Eden and Atlantis.
I don't think Ohio's a shock on here. Illinois.
Ohio. You said Ohio.
Ohio. Yeah, he did. And that's number 4.
The Ohio Grassman, Minerva Monster, land of 10,000 mounds. It's no surprise. Anybody that has listened to me.
Hold on. Ohio is 26. What's 13 plus 13? 26. Anyway.
Yeah.
Of course. Divided by 2. I'm just saying, guys. It's weird to me. That's all. I'm sorry.
Well, Oregon doesn't.
No, it matches up 1,000,000%.
If Washington is up there, you knew Oregon's going to be up there because Oregon and Washington is basically connected. I mean, forest down the forest. Texas. That's kind of interesting because Texas here is in the top 10, but Texas on the UFO was on the bottom 10.
Huh.
So that was interesting. So with
Weird.
over 676 sightings reported, now like I said, that's been reported. Watching is by far the best bet to get a fuzzy photograph of our famous friend. The Green State gets 8.9 sightings for every 100,000 people. That's pretty good odds. Well, and also, we get normal amount of rain, so it's always good rain source for Bigfoot country. And if you go up near Forks, one of the reason this is not a Twilight show, but one of the reason the Twilight books use Forks because Forks area is considered one of the most rainiest part around the world. So Bigfoots are going to live by water. They're fresh water and all that. So
I think is weird about Texas. Texas also has, I know it's off the subject, but I always thought it was interesting. I really do. I'm fascinated with it. I'm a weird person, but they've got the feral hogs. They've got them monster razorback, fucking huge feral hogs in Texas. People report them as big as a cow, going out of feral hogs. And then you've got Bigfoot sightings also. So it's kind of weird with the larger cryptoids are running around over there. It makes sense.
Oh, since we got a pretty good crowd here, everybody in the crowd, remember, don't make sure you hit that like button. Let's prove to people that we all like this. And remember, let me find that show that Bigfoot Anonymous is going to be on at 5 p.m. my time. He's going to be on Bigfoot Odyssey channel. So let me put the link to Bigfoot Odyssey. He's going to be on there at 5, and that's pretty good, guys. They're a pretty good sized channel, and I love seeing people who have passion, that love what they're doing, going on these big channels. So he's representing, all of us. He's representing all of us.
All we got
on these channels, and that's why, me and him talked last night on our other show about, this channel has always been about different people from different communities come here, and we'll talk about everything. Different communities. This is what we love. So by doing that, show support by, if Bob goes on another channel, go there, support him. If Bigfoot goes on another channel, support him. That's all. We're all here, and I'm not talking about going to another channel, act like a jackass. I'm talking about real, true support. And
I feel bad.
I don't see one person in the chat that I would say, I don't know if I want that person over there. And hit that like button, people. Hit that like button. I see that I got 16 likes, and there's 27 people here. Come on, man. What's wrong with you guys?
I always have to say sorry to Connor because Connor sends me links for the other shows. And I'm like, it's like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And I'm like, oh shit.
But Bob, there might be a night that you're up. You can't sleep.
Yeah.
Here, guys. Now, here are the states that has the lowest amount of Bigfoot sightings. Number one of the less is Nevada. Well, mostly desert. It's a freaking gambling state. I can see Bigfoot staying out of Nevada. Rhode Island, very small island. That's, I can see that being so low. Massachusetts, I would have thought they had more, but, that's interesting.
Most of those sightings are Pukwudgie, kind of like the Ewok people or Dobby from Harry Potter, Gollum from Lord of the Rings. So I guess they don't get classified as Bigfoot. So,
this is interesting.
Massachusetts.
Delaware
and
only
Connecticut,
has
Delaware, that whole corner, all the
Pukwudgie,
that's the Pukwudgie territory.
I would bet you guys $10 each that all 5 call-ins at Delaware probably came from Joe Biden. That's his home state.
Oh, yeah.
I bet that Joe Biden is the one who called in the Bigfoots.
He probably called it in. He's playing banjo in his front porch.
Yeah. He probably
called
came
from the sightings probably came from dead people. That's all the votes come from.
That's a good one. Maryland, 34.
Maryland
does not surprise me. Maryland doesn't surprise me. I lived in Maryland for a while, and I wasn't. Let's just say, I didn't like Maryland too much for me.
Just terrapins there, terrapins and ravens.
New York only 113. That's,
New York City.
You know what? That actually New York 113 makes sense because majority of the population in New York is in the city. Okay, there's less people out in the upstate New York versus the city of New York.
Yeah.
So I guarantee I guarantee 95% of this number is all from people out in the upstate New York part.
Yeah. Oh, well, obviously upstate. They're not going to be calling Sasquatch downtown. Well, I mean, maybe somebody might be mentally ill. Look, there's a Sasquatch.
Oh, I'm not saying Bigfoot doesn't live in desert areas. Yeah. I'm saying there's less of them in desert areas versus the jungles. I mean,
yeah, I was down at Bed Bath & Beyond and I saw Bigfoot. It was down in the floor mat aisles.
Hey, we all saw Godzilla and Cloverfield, but I just want to show this one real quick. It's called Monstrous. It's based on the Beast of Whitehall up near the Adirondack Mountains right here. It's a pretty good film. It's on a lot of streaming sites. It's a good Bigfoot one. But yeah, there's of course Bigfoot in New York. We talked to Long Island Bigfoot, New York Giants, the New York Jets. What do you think the Jets are flying over and looking at? You know, of course they're watching the Giants from above. So yeah, of course New York City has so many people that number is going to be a little messed up. But go up to Cooperstown, the Susquehanna Valley.
Let me show you guys. Let me show everybody. Let me share this. Let me show everybody. This is Long Island Bigfoot that lives upstate and stuff. I mean, look at all his Bigfoot videos. I mean, he's got really good videos.
Yeah.
I mean, trees damage, trees, markings. I mean, he's got videos. He records everything. So this is like great stuff. So there's Bigfoots everywhere. Not everything gets reported, but they are in every single state.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure if Connor's correct, they pop up. I mean, if they can pop up from underground, I'm sure they're popping up in every state, every country, everywhere. They pop up. You know what I mean?
Sure. So, there used to be crayfish in my grandparents' backyard. So if there could be crayfish in my grandparents' backyard, some unique creature that has been digging for 13,000 years with the thetas, yeah, they could pop in everywhere. And then they could tap in with waveform and particle form and really become their true being and tap in. And that's why rocks can swallow people up. That's why trees can walk. You know, the possibilities are endless when you're out there in nature. The vibrations are just so enhanced.
Yeah.
Born and raised in upstate New York. Lots. Hey, Queen of Swords, trust me, I know upstate New York. I have to go visit it almost every other year. I got family up in upstate New York. So, and I made a fun little video of Bigfoot hunting in upstate New York. So you're saying somebody was starting like a small argument with me because they're like, Eric, what do you think of the governor, Como, whatever, of resigning? And I said, I don't think of him. What do you mean you don't think of him? Fucking New York. I live in Washington. Why the fuck do I care about a governor 3,000 miles away from here? It's like I'm sure none of you guys know who's the governor of Washington is.
We all know who Cuomo was because he rounded the elderly into homes and exterminated them. And then he also put on crazy lockdowns just to cover his butt. So, yeah, we know. And his brother is part of CNN. So I've been calling this out for like 3 or 4 years now, and people are calling me crazy. My family was telling me I was wrong. He just resigned. So
the problem is he just talks with his hands, guys. Come on, give him a break. He just talks with his hands. I mean, nothing wrong with talking. I accidentally talk with my hands. Somebody
thought I was going to be more passionate about it. I'm like, I don't live over there. I don't.
He's a bad man. He killed a lot of people. This was mercy for him.
Everything I hear is in the news. So
and
listen, if everybody don't know this, every politician, they're all crooks. All right, the person who's going to take over, she might not be crooked at first, but she's going to get corrupted with the money and power. They're all corrupted.
She's even worse. It's Pelosi's stepsister. So it's all orchestrated.
There you go. I did not know that. There you go. I didn't know that either. There you go.
Of course.
And you know what, guys? We're not here. This is not a politics show, but it's just funny that somebody wants to argue me with me. And I'm like, I don't even follow other states people, so leave me alone. So here we go.
Governor DeSantis, though, is stepping up for freedom down here in Florida, and they try to drag him on Twitter. And it's crazy just how, the liberal opinion gets pushed to the forefront. And if you're conservative, you get muted. And it's crazy. I'm all for no censorship, equal freedom. Let the truth let the truth run with the masses. Not what the only one that's allowed to be published. It's silly.
Let's read this one. This it says happy Sasquatch sightseeing. I didn't know there's a difference between Sasquatch sighting versus happy. But this is I know this is what it says. Happy Sasquatch sightseeing. If you're hitting the woods to get away from it all, be on the lookout for a large and lonely creature. With so many Bigfoots being spotted across the country, we want you to let us know, the Bigfoot Field Research Organization, know if you see anything Sasquatch related. Or we're also big fans of UFO sightings, which we already saw that. Bigfoot sightings by state. These are happy Bigfoot.
Bigfoot sightings.
Alaska.
Guys, first and foremost, though, please do not report your Bigfoot sightings. Do not report your Bigfoot sightings.
Well, no, hold on. I'm going to correct that. You can report it, but you report it to us.
Yeah, report it to us, but no.
Report it to us.
Do not call the people that I'm not talking about.
Report it to us.
Yeah, let me know.
Arkansas, I think that's where it looks like you have happy Bigfoots over there.
Happy Bigfoots.
And look, California, 445, Colorado, Florida, I guess they're pretty good. They're pretty happy over there too.
Sorry.
No, I mean, looking at all the numbers, none of the numbers really crisscross too well with the with the UFOs, because the top 10 UFOs are not in the top 10 for Bigfoot, but it doesn't mean they're interconnected. They could be interconnected, and it's just UFOs and Bigfoots are the two that, Bob, you and I did a video one day about missing 411s. These people are gone. Nobody knows why. A lot of these people had some kind of medical issues. A portion of them.
Yeah.
Where are they gone? UFOs.
And they find them. Their clothes are folded. Their clothes are like one spot and they're in another spot. Or a child will be up a mountain where you can't get to, and it's like somebody carried the child. We don't know. It's just a whole lot of mysterious things in the forest that happen.
If it's new to anybody, I want everybody to look up Dennis Martin, Jared Adadero, Cullen Finnerty, Henry McCabe. All of them are very suspicious and kind of lead me to think that Bigfoot was involved.
I mean, these people are gone without a trace. Yeah. Some people, when Bob and I did our show, we read about it. There's footsteps that just ends. Stop.
There's nothing left.
There was no dragging. There was no like broken sticks around.
No.
It's almost like they walked into a Stargate.
Yeah, the cadaver dogs just stop. They're just stop. They're like, there's no more trail. It's just ended.
Now for fun, I didn't get a chart just like this, but I was curious about paranormal. What are, is there certain states that have more paranormal sightings versus the other ones? Now, I found a site that only gave me 10. I couldn't do like a 50 like Bigfoot and UFO, but for the hell of it, it's all for fun.
Top 10.
Scroll down here. Coming in after those top haunted states are okay. Hold on. Top contenders: Texas, California. Both have the highest numbers of paranormal sightings since 2005, with Texas at 6,845 and California with 6,444, which is pretty interesting because California and Texas weren't really on these top 10 lists for Bigfoots or UFOs. So it's kind of cool to see this. Around 456 sightings per year. Technically, that means there could have been one, if not more than one, for every day of the year. Now, here are some other contenders coming in after those top haunted sites are Ohio, Michigan. Now
Ohio.
Illinois. Each of those states has somewhat in the 2000s of paranormal sightings.
Ohio.
I
Yeah.
know. Now, those states are followed by Indiana, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, New York, and Virginia, which all have sightings in the 1000s since 2005.
Sightings of what now? Is this, you said paranormal? What is the sighting?
Paranormal of seeing a ghost.
A ghost. Okay, an apparition.
A ghost of America. Top centers of ghost.
Okay.
I should have said that. You're right.
Yeah.
10 of the most haunted states based on reported paranormal sightings. You know, most haunted houses in each state. There's actually a link to go to states, but I tried that. It was just too hard to put together. This one was just easy. But do which state the most haunted? A recent report determined most haunted states and country-based reported. Now, these are reported. Texas, California. Now, because we all know reporting UFOs and Bigfoots will definitely get you like, you fucking people are crazy. But believe it or not, paranormal actually gives you more crazier looks than all of them. It's like, I was talking to a Connor yesterday. I don't think it's necessary that people don't believe in any of this stuff. I just think most people don't give a shit about it. They live their everyday life. Some of them might believe in it. They just don't want to admit it. They don't want to be involved. They just don't care to share it. That's my opinion.
They're zombies, and you can't disrupt the zombies' routine. You can't do that. I mean, they got to follow the routine. I mean, I just see an entire back of the turtle of people that are OCD like a motherfucker, and they all just have to follow their routines. They just can't break from the routine. Can't do it.
100%.
The world's on fire. It could be fucking alien invasion. It could be Godzilla walking through the water. They're still going back to the cubicle.
Yep. They don't know any better, man, and they've been programmed that way. And that's why you can't get down when a lot of people don't understand you, because I don't understand them. And the more I see and the more I do, I just want to unite with people that are like-minded and just wish the best for other people that might not hop on. I just want to read this encounter that my buddy sent me that is actually in my Letters from Family and Friends chapter in my next book that I just submitted today to be published. The Panhandle Pirates. You know, we out here battling Kraken and looking for treasure, so it's only right. But this is sent to me by Vril, and he's also friends with, of course, Alan, and he's part of the research crew. But he said, "Wake up, I'm strapped down to a table. At my feet is either 5 or 7 beings. I don't know which, but I know it was an odd number. In the middle stood a tall draconian, and the others were shorter gray Draco hybrids. One moved to the right side of the bed and looked down at me. I started thrashing extremely violently to the point I was bouncing on the table under restraints, shouting repeatedly, 'No, no, no, no.' After a few seconds, one of the hybrids moves to the left side of the table, brings a machine down from the ceiling. It looks like a gun with blades on the front, and places it with the inside of the left elbow. I black out. I wake up in the middle of the night, thrashing around, screaming, soaked head to toe in sweat. During this time of my life, roughly August 2019, I was lifeguarding. And while I was at work, I was thinking about this the whole time, only believing that it was an odd, highly detailed bad dream. But when I looked down at the inside of my left elbow, where at first I noticed an odd red mark creating a Y with the horizontal mark in the intersection, more like a Y with a line through it, between the horizontal line and the bottom mark, I noticed brand new fresh scar tissue, bluish purple in coloration at first, ovular in shape. For the next 8 months, I would have had nightmares every time I tried to sleep, anywhere between 6 to 14 times every night, including whenever I tried to nap. The nightmares were just a replay of the abduction, replaying it back to me over and over and over again. I would wake up the same every time, thrashing, screaming, soaked in sweat. The scar and red marks healed completely within days, but I could still see very slight different texture of my skin where the scar was."
Holy shit. That's pretty good. Holy shit.
That is pretty good.
Actual abduction story.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, and it kind of reminds me of how Donnie has that metal implant in his arm too. And I've heard other stories of abduction and the Pascagoula River alien abduction incident in the 70s. I've investigated that in the Rougarou, right down below inside the Pearl River and down to the Honey Island Swamp in Louisiana. The Florida turns into Louisiana swamps. That turns into Texas. I said it last night. So the skunk apes can get all the way to the desert, and then the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot from Canada come all the way down, and then they can come down to Florida. So it's just a huge cycle of these cryptids. It's the real Gypsy Road Highway. I just added in the back line of the summary of the fourth book. It says "Survive the Gypsy Road." So it's a homage to you guys, and that will be on the copy right on the back cover. So it's very, very cool.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
No, you guys buy that book so we get famous. Get that book.
Somebody I don't know why somebody visited my my website, and they left me a message for a video call. You have been drinking Gatorade wrong your whole life. I'm like, okay. Well, thank you. Whoever the new visitor was, I guess thank you for sending me a YouTube video of you've been drinking Gatorade wrong your whole life. I appreciate that. But beyond that, guys, it did make me remind that if you guys didn't know, I do have a website. It is called gypsyroad.live, not .com, .live. And I haven't been updating it lately, but I will update it because everything that we talk about on the show, I have links for it down here. And when I talk about links is I have UFOs right here. Bigfoot right here. Like, I'm going to be updating where friends who came on our show, I have videos from friends that actually came on the show, Manimal Research, Sea Squatchers, which I'm going to be updating some more with Long Island, Bigfoot, some other stuff on here. So you guys have a link to go into these people. And I have UFOs on my website where different websites that does UFOs. And, because I like to get a variety of different people on their videos on UFOs. And then I've actually, Bob and I have done shows on Paranormal in the United Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
Click on Paranormal in the United Kingdoms. I have on my website top places to go for hauntings. So my website is just not, it's actually my opinion. It's educational, my opinion. I even have Matrix stuff. If you believe in the Matrix, I have Matrix friends here. So if you're into the Matrix, okay? Yeah. If you're into parallel universe theories, I got that stuff here. If you're into the Mandela effect, I have
Matrix.
I have Mandela effects people that Bob and I trust, like Hazel Fever. We trust, these are the people we trust. That's just down to it. And then beyond that, if you'd like to know our favorite movies and stuff, I even have Top Box Office where Bob and I went, we went online to our friends to vote. We have what people like: Wolfen, The Thing, horror movies, The Hauntings, Donna Darko, Shaun of the Dead. My personal favorites, top 5: Trick or Treat, Evil Speak, The Hitcher, Friday the 13th Part 2, The American Wolf of London. So I'm actually very proud of this website, and guys should.
You forgot The Wizard of Oz. That's one of my favorite horror movies.
Yeah, you know what, Bob? You know what? It could have been on there, but nobody voted for it.
Have you guys ever talked about the one scene of the dwarf in the background that might show him being hanged, and you could see him just dangling, and then it's been edited out? Yeah, there's a lot of cool conspiracies and things about that. And man, that movie shapes your childhood. It's crazy how all these movies find their way into all of us.
Type that in, dude. I gotta see this. So I've never heard of that before. Type in dwarf
And guys, just real quick, I used to do a newsletter on a weekly basis. I kind of got away from it. I got busy, but I'm going to restart doing newsletters again that has Bigfoot, UFOs, all that stuff in it. So if you subscribe to the website, it's free. I don't charge. It's free, and you'll be on the list to get my newsletters. I'm going to be starting that back up. So,
yeah, look for Wizard of Oz dwarf hanging and see if there's a picture on it on YouTube.
Oh, I heard of that. Wizard of Oz dwarf.
I want to see it. That's freaky. Oh, by the way, I will be back in sunny California in a few weeks here, and I will be doing some Bigfoot hunting with some guys. I'll be going out with the Bigfoot hunters again, a bunch of crazy fuckers. So yeah, in a trailer up in the hills above the fire line, I guess. I hope. I hope. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. So I get to go play around in the Sierra Mountains.
Unpacking the myth of Wizard of Oz hanging munchkin.
Look for pictures. Type in, or what is the picture? Yeah, images. Oh, this is free.
I've seen it with my own eyes, so I know it's true.
No, is that? It looks like it.
Well, if they're, I mean, Bob, by now they probably image it out like words, trying to make it blurry.
They say I'm pretty sure it's like he actually killed himself, like the actor did. And
yeah, I've heard of this before too. I heard of this. This is actually old news. This has been there forever.
I've never heard of it. That's why I want to see if there's an actual hanging person. Well, besides, it's entertaining. It's great for the show.
Well, here, let's see. Click on it.
I mean, not to go off subject, but we got a little time to kill.
Unpacking the myth of Wizard of Oz hanging munchkin. Did you remember supporting cast really committed suicide on the set of MGM Classic? Released 80 years ago, The Wizard of Oz is best remembered, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read all this fucking thing.
I just want to see the hanging munchkin. What the hell is this?
Well, they probably, knowing the company who owns the rights, the GM, whatever, they probably force it all off the internet.
Yeah, go on eBay or Mercari and buy an original copy, or even just the early VHS before the internet really pointed it out. But you'll be able to find, we won't be able to show it on this show because we'll get banned, but you could definitely find it.
These guys.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if a website has a picture. See, this is unavailable. So it looks like they took some down.
Yeah, they definitely have, man. Stacy talked about it last night. Ever since, June or January 5th or 6th, whatever the dang date of the false flag was, they purged so much crap after that. It was crazy.
Wow.
Wizard of Oz.
What was the false flag?
The charge on the Capitol.
That's better.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of a better picture.
Oh, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Really? What is that? What is
that's a better picture.
No, it's so you can see the 2 feet kind of hanging at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
It's bad.
Going to be the greatest film of all time. Use Technicolor. I mean, it's not even worth reading because they're going to downplay it anyway. I mean, they're not. They're going to say why people think it looks like somebody hanging himself.
If everybody wants, I mean, it makes you feel comfortable. I just thought it was interesting. I never heard of it. I just want to see if they have. They do. They have a photo right there. They've got it. It's in the background. It's just kind of hanging there.
Yeah, I mean that's a damn good picture. That's a damn good picture right there.
Yeah, it's a good picture. It's like somebody it's like almost, or maybe somebody for a joke. For a fucking joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some people say that too. And then some people also say if you're doing mushrooms and you're watching it, you'll actually see him walk over and hang himself. So there's a lot of crazy tales that go with it. But there's a reason why it's been in our life for so long. The Wizard of Oz, the great and powerful Oz.
Now, what is Texas?
I'm not calling this Mandela effect. I've never heard of it. Wow.
Why big no Bigfoots? Name one book written by Bigfoot. I love Texas Danny. I'm trying to understand what he's saying, Bob. Bob, you know Texas Danny the best. What is his message here?
Why no Bigfoots? Name one book written by Bigfoot. He's probably playing a joke. He's joking. He's obviously joking. I mean, maybe
Dwarves
Bigfoot
have a high suicide rate. That is true. That actually is a fact.
Maybe,
hold on. Let me pull him out. Let me put it back in. Are you there, Bob? Looks like you're breaking up. Here, Bob, I'm going to kick you out and see if you come back in. What a weird day, right? Everybody getting kicked out. My power goes out. It's like UFOs and Bigfoot talk, and then here we go.
You already know. Well, while we're waiting on Bob, let me show some media that has flying saucers and other beings that maybe programmed us and kind of predicted everything. But it goes back to, look at this, Earth versus the flying saucers back in 1956. This is pretty cool. This is a VHS I picked up. The X-Files, of course, that shaped our lives. This movie called Sunshine, Danny Boyle movie, that they have to reignite the sun. And, of course, there's other beings. One of my favorites right here, Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat, Emily Blunt, Tom Cruise. Of course, every Godzilla movie, you know, aliens don't have to come from the sky. They can come from below the earth, too, just like Pacific Rim, Cloverfield, all the Godzilla movies. Movie I was in called Zillafoot. This is pretty funny. So bad, it's good. 2001 Space Odyssey. Doesn't make it that clear that it's aliens, but it also shows that there's more out there. Jeepers Creepers, where did he come from? Lord of the Rings, it's all about Middle Earth. This cool game, it's called Goulash. You have to hide from all these ghouls, and I look at them from like green boogie-like aliens. And then, of course, I have Sharkansas Women's Prison Massacre, because this is some type of shark that can go on land, so some kind of being from deep in the caves. And then the Meg, even. It could be an alien because it came from the oceans underneath, you know, as the movie said. And then everybody's seen Men in Black, and they try to downplay it, but these guys try to wipe out our memories, and that's pretty messed up. And Superman, of course, the famous kid, Clark Kent, crashed down to Earth from Krypton, and, you know, he saves us. And that's why we have to be very careful with how we treat people. John dies at the end. This is a psychedelic one, and I can tell you the ending. John dies. One game, that series that I've always been close with, guys, Halo 2, Halo 4, Halo Master Chief Collection, and Halo 5. Of course, you're the Spartan armies working with Master Chief, you know, battling against the aliens, the grunts, the banshees, the hunters, Predator. What the heck is Predator?
Yeah.
Strange Wilderness. It's a Bigfoot movie, but of course, a lot of people say Bigfoot is something else.
Loved it. One of my
and then
favorites.
Gundam. I love Gundam as well. My neighbor at work, he's huge on it, and I just started watching it, and it's definitely got some potential. I understand why it has a cult-like following. Well, and then final one that I'll show real quick, UFOs, the new Small Town Monsters documentary. And it's very cool, on the trail of UFOs in the sky. And look for my name in the credits. Connor Flynn, baby.
Yeah.
Now, everybody, we haven't done this in a long time. We used to play this guy's video, one of his videos, on all our shows, called Grandpa's World. Grandpa's World, I'm telling you right now, you guys should all subscribe to this man. He's older, but he does these 2-minute stories about UFOs. He comes out and tells you stories. I love his stories, and it just tells you that what inspires me is he doesn't care about the age. He doesn't care if people listen to him or watch him. He does it because he loves these stories. Yeah. He's got a lot of knowledge. He actually was a guest on our channel before, and he is one of the most sweetest guys in the world. I mean, this guy still works to feed his family, to get food to his family. I mean, this guy is the real deal.
Inspiration.
We love him, and we actually made him his own little intro when we do a story from him. So as old time goes, we're gonna do that right now. We're gonna play Grandpa's World.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Here's Grandpa's theme. All right. So today I'm going to select. Oh, wrong one. We're going to select this one. Let me press pause for a second. This one is called The Abduction of Jack and Jim Weiner, Charlie Foch, and Chuck Rack. So this is about an abduction. So he's one of my favorites. And guys, I'm telling you, subscribe to this man. Say, hey, we love your stuff. Gypsy Rose sent me over here. I love seeing people like him. Doesn't matter age or not. I'm going to tell you a UFO story. You can take it, you can believe it or not. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Grandpa's World. Today we're going to talk about the abduction of Jack and Jim Weiner, Charlie Foch, and Chuck Ray. In the summer of 1976, the four men went on a canoe trip in Maine. They made the camp for the night, and everything was just normal and having a good time camping. And however, the second day was a little bit different. They all saw something flying during the canoe trip, and everything was okay once again for the next few days until the fifth night. That is, they decided to do some nighttime fishing, so they lit a fire so they'd know where to come back to. They got in their boat, went to the middle of the river to fish, and they saw a glowing thing over their heads, some kind of floating object up in the air. Charlie took out his flashlight and shone it up to the UFO, and the UFO stopped and beamed the light right back at them. Men in the boat, of course, paddled as fast as they could and got back to the shore. They made it and jumped out and ran back to the camp. And the fire had already gone out when they got there. They went to the tent and stayed till the next day. They packed up and left. Well, Jim suffers a head injury in 1988. The doctor who treated him found out that he'd been having nightmares of strange aliens touching him. The doctor felt like he should explore that, find out what had happened to him. So he had Jim hypnotized, and then Jim talked about how the Greys with their large heads and long necks and huge eyes were, and the aliens was interested in his hands. He could see his friends sitting on a bench. The aliens took samples of fluids and tissue. Eventually, Jim talked to Raymond Fowler, and Ray took an interest in the story and met up with him. All four of them got together, and with all memories came back to him, and they passed the polygraph. So, well, that's it for Grandpa's World today. We'll see you later, and have a good one.
Yeah, and guys, like I said, if you go to his channel, I mean, just all these are all UFO alien stories.
No, I've heard that story hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Nah, there's something new though. He read it. He was right there. I have never ever heard of them being fascinated with the hands.
The hands. I got that too.
Yeah, that's new. That's new. That's like when Betty and Barney Hill had the German inside the saucer speaking German, and they're looking at their hands. I've never heard that. Why their hands? I wonder what's up that. Are they taking DNA from the hands? Are they examining the size of the hand?
Hey, Bob, maybe since their hands, maybe they only have like
alien hands.
And they wanna use the DNA to grow, so their hands be more like ours. I don't know, for something.
I think the code of our fingerprints, they can probably read it kind of like how they can read the Matrix, all the green letters, and they just see reality. They could probably read our fingerprints. It's God's design, the golden ratio, of course, the Fibonacci spiral.
That's a good one, yeah. And I like the story, like he said, and they all passed the lie detector test, which I don't put a lot of stock in those, but I mean, I guess you could put a small percentage of stock in them, but it is interesting that everyone passed.
Yeah.
Bob, are you frozen?
And all your nerves go to your fingers too, so that would be pretty cool. But yeah, he's been frozen for the last like two weeks.
Yeah. I know it's been weird. We've been having a good, decent kind of a weird warm weathers here, and then Europe is getting hit hard with rains and bad weather. And of course, with bad weather, I mean, I don't know how good their internet structure is. You know, probably not as strict or good as in America, because America, everything has to be A+. It has to pass this, has to pass that. So usually our structures are better than most countries. I'm not saying it in a bad way. It is just true, because there's so much restrictions here that you got to do everything correctly.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
I think it's just side effects and just aftershocks. Yeah, palm reading is definitely an art.
Hey, sketches. I don't know if you guys have this where you're at. I think you're from Australia. If you go to an Amazon store now, we have an Amazon store, a 5-star store, whatever, in Washington, in the malls and stuff, where when you pay for something now, you actually use this. Yes, you use this. Like instead of using your fingerprint, you put this over this circle, and it charges you.
Yep. Okay. And it's getting crazy, man. They're going to put QR codes on every kind of product, and you're going to have to scan it to get it. And they're not going to allow, certain people to get certain products. It's really crazy, man. And it's really sad that we're being binded like that. And, reality is just being swept from our eyes as we speak.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they put it on my ball sack, because I would get a kick out of teabagging for my groceries. I would
have a little device where you put the
I wouldn't mind teabagging for everything. It's like, I want this new cabinet. That'll be $354. Oh, cool! I'll teabag it. And you teabag like a little teabag thing, and that would be fun.
We got a new subscriber on D Live. His name is Panzer Chocolate, and he donated one ice cream, whatever that means. Donated an ice cream. Thank you.
Oh, I think I have some. I'm gonna eat them ice cream. I love ice cream, guys. Remember, you want vitamin D. So I recommend you people to listen to me. Vitamin D and zinc.
So,
vitamin D. Right now, you want zinc and vitamin C together, and vitamin D like a motherfucker. Like as much vitamin D, you can't OD on vitamin D. As much vitamin D as you can handle every day. Trust me.
Well, let's do this. We got a few minutes left. I am putting in the chat the two websites that I got the UFO and Bigfoot numbers in case any of you guys want have that website to dissect it yourself. There you go. It's in the chat. But since we got a few minutes left, now, Connor, so the show you're going on in about 2 hours, do you know kind of what they're going to be asking you? You know what your main thing you're doing there, so people know in the chat. Like, is it just they want to meet you for the first time, or do you know this group?
Yeah, they're just going to be meeting me for the first time, and I think letting me have the floor for like an hour and 20 minutes. I have no clue what they're going to be asking, but they are top of the line people. They've made documentaries, and they host like 3 weekly shows that they talk to encounter people, other researchers, and then just other freestyle guests that come in and really chop it up. A lot of experts, there was people that were yoga experts. So they definitely have open minds, and they've had incredible guests like Donnie on there in the past. And then the most recent one, his name was Kevin, in the Apalachicola Forest, which is, an hour from here, within the hour. And there was a whole family of them talking to him. The daughter Bigfoot led him to the parents, and it's just some next level stuff. And I'm super excited. And a lot of my family from all the other channels, Standing Goats Rescue, Mogollon Monsters, Central Florida Bigfoot, everybody that has a movement kind of has some kind of ties to Bigfoot Odyssey. And I'm really excited for my time to finally come, because it's been a long time. and they do 168 hours expeditions. That's what they do, and they're down in Florida, and you have to apply and stuff. So hopefully this interview will show them that I am a valuable candidate. And the guy who I stayed with in Lakeland, Tim T, the tracker, he was actually selected to be on the next one. So I definitely have some ties already to the Bigfoot world. And then Tippa TV, who we had on this show, and on Horror Talk, of course, they were picked to be the videographers for the next Bigfoot Odyssey expedition.
Awesome.
And, they have paranormal, abilities first and foremost. So having them behind the camera is just an extra value. And it's amazing.
And this is the direct video, guys. You can see it on the screen. That's the direct video. That's a direct link into the show. And guys, I'll tell you why I'm already jealous. Look at this.
What?
They got 21 likes. The show hasn't even started. I only got 20. And we've been on for almost 2 hours. What's up with that?
Well, Connor's a legend. He's a legend in the community already. You're like, you got
how many dislikes is that? Does it say 1 or 2?
How many dislikes I have? Oh, for your show?
Yeah, Boris.
You got 0 dislikes.
Oh, 0? That says 0 on there? Oh, nice.
Actually, for now, I got 0. So, but I'm sure I'll be getting some dislikes.
Oh yeah, there's always somebody hates me. Eric gets it because of me. Sorry about that.
But yeah, this is a monumental day, and I'm glad we could have this time, even just like as kind of a warm up, and it's really cool. And of course, I'm going to reference it. I've already had a big day. Donnie Miller came to my house. I talked about UFOs on the Gypsy Road show, and then the Bigfoot Odyssey show. It's amazing. It's going to be remarkable, and hopefully it puts me on the map.
It really is good to have a warm up because you're talking, you're getting ideas in your head, some Bigfoots that you might remember, and then then you're totally ready. You're not, your voice is warmed up because a lot of singers, they got to warm up their voice before they sing.
I know my heart's going to be bumping and thumping, and I'm going to have to contain myself and try to keep things calm. But I'm super excited, and it will be fun, talking about like Zillafoot. And then I'm working on a feature film or a short film right now for a festival. So it's really cool just combining all my methods, And then we interviewed Stacy Brown last night. That's a check on the bucket list, and that's huge in the Bigfoot world. Chopping it up with him and being accepted by him, it's remarkable, and that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to pave my way, and I'm the young grasshopper learning from these older experts. And
we even got that video taken down, but it's back up.
Eric, I made a video where I actually had footage. I don't know, you want to put a 2-second clip on it. You want to see it? I actually have a nymph. I'm standing next to a nymph.
And guys, everybody, if you go to the description, Connor and Bob, their links to their channels are there. So which one you talking about?
You have to go to my page or go to my site.
I'm actually on your site here. Let me show. Let me share the screen.
Bring it up. I'll bring it up. That way everyone can see my cool shit. But
we just found out that there had to be black cats in our new scary movie too. So I think my cats might make an appearance in the movie. Yes.
Let's see where it's the one with Alice in Wonderland. Where are you at?
How long is it?
Go back up. It is. Let me see. Go back. Oh God damn it! It's not the one with the. It's not try the Alice in Wonderland one. Yes, the Alice in Wonderland.
Where is that at?
It's the colorful one with the Alice in Wonderland sitting there at the party table having it's the Last Supper. She's having the Last Supper.
Is Codex 13?
Yes. A good song too.
Play the whole thing, or you want me to skip to something?
Oh, just play a little bit of it. I'll say it comes. It's right up in the front. It should be in the front. Good song anyway. Tell me. Right there. Yeah, right there. There he is. I caught him. See, he's right there. He's sitting down. So we were walking around the forest for a little bit. We just sat back and got high. But if you can back it up, you see his whole face and everything. Okay, go ahead. I also see things in the forest. So there he is. We're just having a chat. So that was it. That's a quick clip of me and the nymph.
Are you talking about the black, deep black color?
Well, it's a nymph. He walks around. Those are his legs. He walks. We're sitting down. He was sitting down, so I can get him on camera.
Oh, okay.
He's sitting down. You see his legs. He's walking. He's a tree man.
There's like a cat eyes in a way. Look, the face.
Yeah, it was a nymph.
Cat.
He's got his two arms. You can see his two arms, his two legs. Couldn't get him in camera because he's a tree. He's tall as shit. So he sat down for the clip. Sketches says he likes the Alice one. Oh yeah, thank you. So yeah, that's a nymph. So we got talking, hanging out. We had a good time. Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure I contribute mine. It's not a Bigfoot, but he's a nymph, or I guess we call him nymphs. He's a tree guy.
Tree giant, man. And just like the Lord of the Rings, carrying little Pippin all around and surviving them, and then taking on the orcs 100%. The forest comes alive and roots are not solid and stuck. Reality is malleable, and a lot of people do not understand that. They don't know that. Yeah, because he's cool as shit. He's cool as fuck. England's got this little magical forest, so it's kind of cool. I run into these guys all the time. So I just want to put my little picture in there. Wow. People, they always think I'm full of shit, and I'm like, well, I got a picture. Yeah, I had to have him sit down though, because he's fucking. You would just think it's two trees, his legs. So like, dude, sit down. Back the camera up, sit down, and then we got a picture of him. So there you go. Well,
I think we hit our 2-hour mark. I know Connor's got to get rested for his next 2 hours. Yeah, I'll got to get ready, and then this Friday is going to be a paranormal supernatural show with Alan coming on, and that should be interesting. He sent me he emailed me a few subjects he'd like to tackle, which is cool. So I'll get that link up and ready, and then on that, everybody's gonna get going, and I'm gonna be stuck in 5 for 2 hours. So, but at least I'm gonna be stuck watching his video.
Yeah, guys, I'm really pumped. I just want to show off my books real quick. Of course, Eerie Swamps, Road Trip to Eden, Big Brother, Bigfoot, Monsters and Mysteries Around the Corner, all 3, and then the 4th one, the Panhandle Pirates, just got submitted today, and that's going to be the longest one, and it mentions Gypsy Road on the back cover and inside the story, so it's very cool. Guys, tag along for Bigfoot Odyssey. Please subscribe to me as well. I just hit 900. Once you hit 1,000, you get a couple more freedoms. And a lot of people, they see me on these shows and they talk to me in chat, but they don't know I have a channel. Come on. I'm out here every day in the field providing content and valuable information and just trying to raise awareness in the long run. And, I'm here for education and entertainment. And these shows are awesome because it's a combined energy that we could never get from anywhere else. And, the time, man, we can look back as long as we have power and remember this. And the hurricane's coming here to Florida, Hurricane Fred. It's a tropical storm right now, and it's strengthening. Thanks, Sketches. Yeah. Good luck. I will definitely see everybody over at Bigfoot Odyssey. Say you're coming from Gypsy Road if you know from here.
Yeah. Come on, guys, spread my name out there. What the hell? What the hell? Come on.
You won't be liked. So
we want all of us to be successful, because one person successful, we're all successful. Because that's all we do. We help each other out because we need to. Because other people ain't. The government ain't gonna help us. People on the streets ain't gonna help us. We need to help each other out. It's right here. Starts here. So beyond that, guys, everybody have a good one. See you later.